After 5 days in port, it's time to take to sea once again. The 10 amateur crews are about to take on their first ocean crossing, 4,200 miles across the Atlantic to Salvador, Brazil.
A few minutes to the start now, 4,200 miles, wow. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In light winds and clear skies, Race 2 of the Clipper Round the World Yacht Race begins. 10 68-foot international racing yachts, each racing for the pride of their nation. 10 crews of novice sailors, from farmers to taxi drivers, secretaries to vicars, each determined to test themselves to the limit. As land disappears behind them once more, the fleet heads out into open ocean. Ahead, the expanse of the Atlantic, 4 weeks at sea, a marathon voyage into the southern hemisphere, and on to South America.
There's no cross-dressers there. You said when?
Thursday night.
That's 2 days, isn't it?
It's a very frustrating day today. No wind at all, really. We're making about a knot at best. The only thing we can hope for is that all the other Clipper vessels are suffering similar conditions to ourselves, and that whilst we're not really going anywhere, hopefully they're not going anywhere either.
All across the fleet, progress is painfully slow. The doldrums, a notorious area of light winds and searing heat, has engulfed the boats. The wind has gone. On board Scottish entry Glasgow, Scotland with Style, the crew are facing up to the challenge ahead.
It's going to take us about 2 years to get to Salvador at this rate, yeah.
Down below, the only female skipper in the race, Hannah Jenner, is trying to remain positive.
Just have to keep chucking at a whopping 2.6 knots over the ground.
Gale force storms or stifling flat calm, it's all part of the challenge. A few days later, and wind returns to the fleet. One by one, the boats pick up speed and head south towards open ocean. To keep the boats moving 24 hours a day, the crews are split up into shifts or watches. While half the team concentrates on racing, the other half sleeps. On board Chinese entry Qingdao, there's another watch hard at work in the cabin below. Mother watch. Every day someone plays mother. It's a vital role, keeping both watches fed and watered and full of energy to race. It's a hard and unforgiving job in the small and stuffy belly of a racing yacht. On Durban 2010 and beyond, South African Joe Zabber is revelling in his role as mother.
Finally got me working. Trying to salvage some of the fruit we have left. See if we can make some fruit salad.
It's a mother's responsibility to manage the day's rations and make sure the boat doesn't run out of supplies. Ahead lies the first major milestone of the race. 2 weeks after leaving behind the shores of France, the Clipper fleet arrives at the middle of the globe.
0.2 minutes north at the moment, and about to fly across the equator.
Right, is that high enough?
That's fun, yeah.
It's a major landmark of the race, and in tribute to Neptune, god of the sea, a cause for celebration across the fleet.
Okay, we're getting close.
005.
5, 4.
Traditionally, those who have never crossed the equator by sea are initiated with a dousing of slops. For the amateur crews, that means pretty much everyone. It's a significant moment in this ocean marathon and some light relief from the pressures of non-stop racing.
Fantastic! First time crossing the equator by water. Done it by air before. They don't throw food over you unless there's a bit of turbulence, but it's great. And here we are in the Southern Hemisphere.
Brand new experience. It's another one to tick off. Every time you see me, I've got a new experience to tick off. That's got to be good.
A bit like being kids again, isn't it? Yeah, good fun. Good fun.
For 53-year-old Scottish farmer Drew McLaren, it's just one more out of the ordinary experiences on the Clipper Round the World Yacht Race. Like many fellow competitors, it's curiosity that's led him to the middle of the Atlantic.
Time in my life I wanted to do something completely different. Take some time out. Worked kind of hard all my life. I put up with it, but thought it was time to do it. Slack a wee bit. Slack. Just slack.
It's a far cry from life on the land back home in Scotland, where in his absence, son Andrew is hard at work keeping the farm up and running.
A little bit more work to do, especially with the worker being off for a few weeks. But apart from that, it's not too bad. It's been a little bit quieter in the house. I've not actually been into as much trouble since he's gone.
Having worked alongside Drew for years, Andrew knows his dad better than most.
I think he needed a break from farming. You know, he's been doing it for 35, 40 years of his life. And I think it's about time he had a wee change.
Just got the last mother watch today with Howard. We're doing the last lunch before Salvador.
After nearly 4 weeks at sea, the tiredness is beginning to show. Day after day of broken sleep, constant physical work on deck, fatigue is a serious issue. On board Canadian entry Nova Scotia, 48-year-old vicar Robin King is feeling the heat.
It's above deck. It's glorious. Sailing is wonderful, even when it's difficult weather and rough conditions. You go below deck and you enter another world.
The discomfort is being felt throughout the fleet.
We're having a lot of fun, but it's getting hot and everyone's tired. I'm missing showers. Diet Coke, nice cold kind of something. Diet Coke and a shower. Clean sheets, that would be nice.
With only a day to go, the lure of the land is agonising. But at the head of the fleet, the wait is finally over. Durban 2010 and beyond crosses the finish line in Salvador to win the second race from La Rochelle.
Number one. Absolutely chuffed that we've done it. Really good for the crew, they worked hard. It's been an interesting and tough leg, and lots of frustrating sailing in the doldrums, but we got there in the end. Well done to the crew.
For the novice sailors, crossing the Atlantic and finishing in first place is a massive achievement. As the sun sets on the following day, the Scottish entry finishes its epic crossing. Glasgow, Scotland with style, takes second place. It's the end of the first major ocean leg and almost 5,000 miles from the start line in Liverpool.
It's all sort of a bit surreal, really. Here we are, completely different continent, South America, and this reception, and I don't know, probably hit me later on. Awesome.
It's a new and emotional moment for the Clipper cruise.
You can't deny it's difficult, getting up in the middle of the night every 4 hours. It's hard work, but when you get into somewhere like this and you get such a good welcome, it's brilliant, quite emotional actually.